Ladies and gentlemen, GapSummiteers. First things first, I'd like to congratulate you on the excellent field you have chosen for your professional future, namely one of the key technologies, if not the key technology of the 21st century. Of course, we at Merck are not entirely objective when it comes to the potential of biotech. In our healthcare business, we specialize in biopharmaceutical R&D, particularly in immuno-oncology and immunology. In life science, we empower biotech researchers and manufacturers with services and products such as CRISPR-Cas9 kits and bioprocessing tools. One focus is the fight against COVID-19. We currently collaborate with over 50 vaccine developers, for example. In our performance materials sector, we specialized in high-tech semiconductor materials to advance digitalization. Even here, we see great promise in the dawning age of biotech. And after all, the increasing interconnection between biological science and computing, AI and data analytics could revolutionize everything in our lives, from health and well-being to food and energy production through to consumer products and services. Groundbreaking innovation in biotech-driven disciplines, such as personalized medicine or genome editing, lab-grown clean meat, or DNA data storage and computing could help tackle some of the greatest challenges facing humanity. We at Merck are proud to conduct and support R&D in all these fields. At the same time, research itself is changing. Ever wider access to funding and affordable scientific tools, as well as a new quality of collaboration between researchers globally, are democratizing the science space. Revolutionary technology such as the connected lab based on robotic automation, sensors, and data analytics driven by machine learning will further accelerate and empower R&D. Not least, as devastating as the pandemic is, it also seems to ring in a veritable new era of science and technology. As recent studies underscore, society suddenly trusts research and scientific innovation to a degree we would not have imagined until very recently. Geopolitical and societal divides are growing, but there's also new hope in, let's say, science diplomacy. What's more, public perception of the healthcare sector is shifting. In the face of the global pandemic, political decision makers seem to finally acknowledge this industry's critical contribution to the benefit of society, approaching it with a new openness and more respect. To me, all these facts point in one direction. You have chosen the right discipline at precisely the right time. And looking at the setup of this summit, you're also spot on in addressing the issues that count. So, what can I tell you today that you don't already know? Probably not much when it comes to the potential of biotech. But your declared mission is to diminish substantial gaps, in other words, to tackle great collaborative societal and economic challenges on the road to a global biotech revolution. And to this end, one topic comes to mind, which is closer to my heart than ever these days. The topic I'm talking about is purpose. The sense of a deeper meaning behind what you're doing and the determination and commitment to stay true to it. A principle we at Merck are something of an expert in, given the experience we've gained in more than 350 years. And a principle that any aspiring leader should reflect on, especially in still largely uncharted territories such as biotech. I am aware that purpose is a trendy topic these days, especially in a business context. And further accelerated by the COVID-19 crisis, society's focus on purposeful and sustainable business practices is undoubtedly growing. Even large investment management corporations, the kind one would hardly associate with tree hugging or kumbaya singing, are advocating for purpose as an effective management tool. At Merck, we've always been about more than numbers. And when I say always, I mean this quite literally. In our company, the first documented mention of purpose dates back all the way to our founding year. In 1668, a man named Friedrich Jakob Merck applied for a license to operate a pharmacy in Darmstadt, the city in Germany where our company headquarters is still located today. It was by no means a given that he would receive this license, but Merck succeeded based on a unique selling proposition. In his application, he convincingly argued that he would operate and maintain his pharmacy, and I quote, in the best interest of the local community. Looking at the nature of a modern pharmacy's business and the strict regulations it has to comply with, this doesn't sound like a bold claim. But at the time, the general population had access to no or to extremely poor healthcare. People went to a pharmacy to buy all kinds of stuff. Much like in a drugstore, you could find everything there from textile dyes and shoe polish to bug repellent. So in the critical field of healthcare, where quality standards were only at the very beginning, our founder made a very, very ambitious pledge to this community. And I wouldn't be speaking to you today if he hadn't delivered. So his sense of purpose truly is the root of who we are today. Based on this foundation, Merck has thrived for 352 years and is now a science and technology company with more than 57,000 colleagues across 66 countries. We'll still focus on the future. Nearly 8,000 of our colleagues globally work in R&D. Of course, in line with our growth and evolution, the wording of our purpose reads a bit differently these days, but its essence has remained unchanged. We now say that we are curious minds dedicated to human progress. We believe in science as a force for good. In other words, our aim is to research, develop, manufacture, and market products and technologies that improve billions of people's lives. COVID-19 is a current example of how this translates into action. It makes us proud to know that Merck is helping to fight the virus on many fronts. As a crucial supplier for the development of diagnostics, vaccines, and treatments, as a provider of much-needed medicines for patients affected by serious diseases, as a manufacturer of electronic materials that help people throughout the world to stay connected, and as a donor of protective face masks and disinfectant funding, as well as expertise in collaboration with emergency aid and research initiatives across the globe. Part of our efforts is dedicated in-house COVID-19 Innovation Task Force. It is working on new prophylactic and therapeutic approaches together with our collaboration partners all over the world, including the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the European Innovative Medicines Initiative, and the WHO. And only last year, we awarded our Future Insight Prize with a grant of 1 million euros to 2 scientists who work on fighting and containing pandemics. And that was in July last year. Back then, no one knew that such an outbreak would happen. But now Pardis Sabeti of Harvard University and James Grau of Vanderbilt University Medical Center need the grant today more than ever. And far beyond the pandemic, global health is a field we have been deeply committed to for years. We also collaborate with the WHO, for example, to eliminate the parasitic worm disease schistosomiasis, which claims around 200,000 lives every year. Only recently, we joined the International Federation of Pharmaceutical Manufacturers and Associations, IFPMA, and more than 20 other companies in backing a new $1 billion action fund to fight antimicrobial resistance. The initiative aims to bring 2 to 4 new antibiotics to patients by 2030. It is in no way an exaggeration when I say our strong purpose is the driving force behind all these activities. We believe that focusing our efforts on the most urgent questions and challenges of humankind creates advantages not only for society, but also for our business. It motivates and empowers. And I'm certain that the more VUCA our world becomes, the more critical our purpose will be to help us reach our goals. That's why there is not a single town hall or business review where I don't refer to our purpose.